Hey, I'm Ryan McRae, and welcome to Burn the Tavern Down. Today I'm going to be talking briefly about cults and how to put them into your adventures so your players get nervous, they get scared, and they move into action. So, let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about cults. The first cult I want to talk about is a good old-fashioned doppelganger cult. Now, this can happen in a space RPG or Dungeons and Dragons, but shapeshifters are starting to take positions of power in your city, in your town, or even your space station. So weird things start to happen. Statues start getting built of people that no one's ever really heard of. Weird laws get enacted, festivals get canceled. Disarray starts to happen. Slowly, city guard start withering away. There's less of them. Just people are getting fired for no reason. It should red flag to your players that something is amiss. Now, the problem with a doppelganger cult is, well, they can shapeshift and look like anybody else. So they're going to have to rely on their stealth skills and their gather information skills because maybe they see people meeting who used to be rivals, used to be enemies, and now they're hanging out at taverns together. That's weird. They can search for documentation, they can attend votes, they can kind of scour the landscape and the rooftops to see what is going on in this cult. And once they track down one member, you can build an adventure that leads them to other ones. But the problem is your players aren't going to know who to trust. People like NPCs could be eliminated that they usually relied on, but now they're doppelgangers. So, womp womp. They're going to have to watch for those signs of people who've changed their behavior. I wouldn't recommend this for a beginning level adventure because doppelgangers are kind of a hard one to find, and if your players don't have the skills or maybe the magic items to work in that situation, they're going to have some problems. I would keep it mid-level at best. Coming in at our second cult, this is the good old, we're going to summon an old god that's dead and awaken that dead god. So this is kind of on the dark end, and this would go for a low, medium to high. If you're going to do it low, you're going to have to stop the cult early. Maybe they need to get something. Maybe they need to capture someone to get this cult ritual going on. A mid-level game, they've kind of fortified themselves. They have much higher level priests. At a bigger size, higher level, you're going to have to stop the summoning of the actual real god that's happening, and that could take a lot of firepower and a lot of hit points. But I say go for it. What's great about that old god is you can rely on them finding research about why this old god was banished. Maybe they could find and warn the new gods or the god's replacement and say, hey, this thing you thought you took care of, it's being unlocked. It's being summoned again. You might want to get a handle on that. So clerics could have a big part in that. Paladins would have a big part in this. It's just a great way to have a gothic adventure, a bit dark, and try to stop summoning an old god. It's a classic. It's a classic story. And last but certainly not least, I like to throw in a good old moon cult once in a while. Now, a moon cult can be subtle. They're not after a lot of power. They just want the moon to be larger. And they are appealing to the moon goddess to make the moon larger. And what that does is start screwing up the tide. People start noting small changes. So your crew has to go in, take care of this moon cult, lest they destroy the planet and really screw up some things that are in the physics realm. But those are my 3 ideas for how to bring a cult into your world. Bring them in slowly. You could preview them in previous adventures by your characters finding trinkets, finding scrolls, finding information, maybe accidentally capturing a cult member. Also, priests can come in handy. Maybe they get a little prophecy, a little warning. But cults are a way to get your players going into rescue mode real quick. I just love me a good cult. All right, that's all I got for this week. At Burn the Tavern Down, we talked about cults, and below, I want to hear about what cults you've used. I've heard of werewolf cults, a good old-fashioned necromancer cult. I've heard of a fertility cult, kind of a midsummer sort of cult. Whew, don't want that cult. Don't I don't want that. I don't want that cult. Yeah. So if you would, please like and subscribe down below or around in this area. I would love to get more subscribers so I can tell you more good things on how to make your gaming better. All right, I've been Ryan at Burn the Tavern Down. You guys have a good week.